This program is part of the Cosmic Potato Podcast Network. For more shows like this, visit our website at cosmicpotato.com.
All right, you primitive screwheads, listen up.
I am Iron Man. That's a big one.
Pizza Dude's got 30 seconds.
You are a toy!
It's Leviosa, not Leviosa.
Why so serious?
The city's flying. We're fighting an army of robots. And I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense.
And welcome to World War G episode 226. I'm Troy.
I'm AJ.
And I'm Colton.
All right. Well, for our pregame here, anybody have anything they wish to discuss? Bring to the table, as it were.
Just that we're all going to Area 51, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're all gonna go raid a government facility and in search for aliens.
I think Trump would have said something if there were,
He probably would
aliens
have
by now. He would have tweeted something out.
How'd this get started, by the way? Because I don't know the context of this. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen things pop up, and I had to kind of Google what was going on, but I didn't know how this got started.
I'm not understanding all these different memes that are.
Yeah, all these Area 51 memes.
I think it was just a discussion on Facebook to where these people, I think they were doomsday preppers or whatever. They were like, we need to find out what's going on in Area 51, and then they're like, okay, well let's start a big group on Facebook about it, and then so they did. And then people started just following it and saying...
Coming out of the woodwork. Yeah.
Tons and tons of people. But I think at this point it's basically just a meme. Even if people did show up, I think that there was 100,000 people who said that they were going, attending this event to storm it. And I think probably 1% of those people are actually serious about doing it.
Yeah. And...
The government can stop all of us, just so you know.
They can.
They have guns that can fire 300,000 rounds a minute.
Yeah.
Okay? That's more than enough.
And you're putting all your plans out on social media. You don't think they're paying attention?
ISIS did that too. Anonymous? No, I
mean, if they thought this was a credible threat, they would fortify that place like...
Oh, it already
like Mexico.
It doesn't need to be fortified any further than it is. I'm sure that it goes hundreds of floors underground.
Yeah.
And
it's basically like Stranger Things, Yeah,
you're not getting past the front door. Sorry. I don't think you're going to get past the fence.
Yeah. So one time when my family, we were taking a vacation trip and we were just going past the road. I mean, you could kind of see in the distance, some fencing and some buildings and stuff. And my younger brother, he really had to go to the bathroom. So we pulled over to the side of the road for a second just so he could quickly, go. And it was out it was during the evening and there was nobody else on the road. And, all of a sudden, when he was going, these two big black vans and SUVs started driving from the facility and turned onto the road that we were going on, and then they continued to follow us for a couple miles. He's like, hurry, yeah. Piss faster, piss yourself. But he jumped back in the car and we started driving off, and my parents, they were followed for quite a few miles before they pulled off and turned around, and yeah.
And yeah, I remember. I was on a road trip somewhere, and the same type of thing. We knew it was kind of a government facility, so we pulled over. We were just checking it out. I think it was just me and my brother. And seconds after, there was an SUV that pulled up on top of this ridge, black SUV, and just sat there and stared at us,
all menacing looking,
yeah.
And yeah.
I mean, within seconds.
The government is no joke.
You see the glimmer of a scope.
Yeah. I wouldn't doubt they had it with them. Yeah, you're right. The government, they don't play around.
Think about that, Troy. You've probably had a sniper trained at your head.
Probably.
Whoa.
I probably did
on numerous occasions.
You too.
Yeah.
And your brother while he was peeing.
They zoom in and just
Then laugh.
right. Have to zoom in even further.
I need a better scope for this. I'm not seeing anything.
Is this a dude or a guy or a girl? Just kidding. Sorry, Logan. He doesn't even listen, so I don't care.
That's
Whatever.
fine.
Yeah.
That's fine. No, I did accidentally. You can't get on a government facility by accident because I did that once.
By accident.
Yeah. I was
Even
making
the most skilled international spies can't get in on purpose, but Troy does it all.
I did. I went to a rocket testing site accidentally.
Wow.
Because I was making deliveries. I was working
Is this
for young?
Yeah.
It was either for young or
This
contractors.
is recently.
One of the two. It was within the last. It was probably 2016, 2015, somewhere in there. Yeah, but I was delivering, and it was that site that was way out there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, way, way out there, like out west, like right before you hit the mountains. There's a little facility out there, and I went, and I couldn't figure out how to get in. There was no person at the front to meet me or anything, and I saw the gate open, so I just drove in, and I went and found the person I was supposed to drop this stuff off to. He's like, "How did you get in?" I'm like, "I just drove in." He goes, "Really?" Huh.
Top-notch security.
Someone
Needless
got
to say,
fired.
yeah, I was going to say somebody got fired.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
He's like, "Because I didn't know you were coming, and they'd usually let me know." Yeah, just drove in.
That's funny.
That's awesome.
Okay. Now we've talked about our run-ins with the government. Let's get to our stories here. So we know there's a new Joker movie coming.
But is it a Joker movie?
Technically, in the fact that the Joker is in it and it is set in Gotham, but that's pretty much where the similarities end, because according to director Todd Phillips, he says the movie will not follow anything from the comic books at all.
I mean, you just lost probably a third of your fan base.
Probably.
With just that.
Probably.
I mean, I know there's going to be a lot of people that'll come out of the woodwork, especially after seeing Suicide Squad and some of these other movies and jumping on the bandwagon. But the true diehard fans, they go to see these things. That's why a lot of these directors that are doing movies about other stuff that people are passionate about, they kind of, they make it look as cool as possible, but they're kind of tight-lipped on any other stuff about the any reveals or anything at all.
Yeah.
Is because they want these guys to see it, and then even if they're disappointed, they're like, we already got your money, so whatever. But doing this beforehand, I don't know. It's a bold move.
There are so many different versions of the Joker that what else do you have to write about if you take away everything that's ever been written about him in a previous comic?
Right.
He's been written about a lot and a great antagonist, but as far as a backstory and an origin, they've got some the Killing Joke, and there's some source material
set in stone. There's no.
Well,
this is how he got started.
The Killing Joke is basically
it's the closest.
It's the closest. And they do say that there are technically 3, different adaptations of them, but.
But no, to answer your question, there's nothing really set in stone, which has kind of been the mystique of the character this whole time.
Nothing super canon?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's where did he come from?
Because Batman, it's okay, his parents got shot and killed while leaving an opera in an alleyway. That's the story.
That's the story.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, in, The Killing Joke, he was a failed stand-up comedian that got involved with this gang to make
the Red Hood gang.
Yep, make some quick cash, and he ended up falling in a vat of acid, became the Joker. In Batman the Animated Series, he was a gangster who ran around with the mob for a while, or Mask of the Phantasm, But anyway, there's been a lot of different origin stories, I guess, but the director himself said, we didn't follow anything from the comic books, which people are going to be mad about. We just wrote our own version of where a guy like Joker might come from. That's what's interesting to me. We're not even doing Joker, but the story of becoming Joker. It's about this man. So, yeah.
Gotcha. So there's not likely to be any contact with a superhero in this movie. It's all purely the incline to becoming the Joker, and then the movie's over.
So then are they basically, I mean, I know they like this as a platform, but are they just using the Joker's name to get more people to see it? Do they really need to, you know what I mean? Like, do they really need to go under the guise of, this is a Joker movie. Oh, hey, we're not taking anything from this material.
Right.
They might want to be building into other movies, though. Like, this might be a prequel or, the first in a...
It actually is. They're going to be calling it... They're doing a lot of these different movies that have not so much to do with the source material. It's like DC Dark... I can't remember what the heck it was. But they are going to be doing a lot of these different, origin stories from other DC characters. I was reading something on it the other day. That this is kind of like, this is going to be one of the first installments. So it's basically like the Mummy with Tom Cruise. If this does well, then they'll continue to do more movies similar. But have you read anything about that as well?
Not really. I know that basically all these DC movies, they're not going to intersect or connect at all. From what I've read, they're all going to be just separate movies, and it's not going to be like Marvel where they have this interweaving story.
Right.
It's all going to be like different chapters of different books, basically.
Yeah, they're saying something that's going to be called either like DC Dark or DC Black is what they're going to be calling all these movies.
That's not PC. DC's not PC.
Speaking of movies, Saw number 9 is officially happening with Samuel L. Jackson and Chris Rock.
Goody.
The last one came out in 2017, and I really thought it was kind of like the final chapter, the final installment, and like from the article, it didn't really have much to say as far as what prompted this, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Well,
I feel like this is going to be Scary Movie-esque. Like, I just can't see Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson taking this movie seriously.
Right.
And who's going to die first?
They can't. You can't kill off the black guy. Black guy always makes it to the end.
No, that's a lie. Like, what the original trope wasn't.
You ever seen Anaconda?
Yeah, it was a great movie.
That was the first time a black guy ever made it to the end of a horror movie.
Right, I was going to say, other than that, like, they're all just dying off, like, the first person to die. Although, okay, that I don't know if it was the first one or one of the other installments of Anaconda, but I love that movie up until the guy, like, when he gets spit back out and winks at her before dying, the villain. It was so cheesy. I'm like, wow, that kind of ruined it a little bit for me.
Yeah, I think the bigger question is, why are they making another Saw film?
I mean, the Saw franchise has, 6 movies?
I don't. I would guess 8 if this is the 9.
Number 9.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is the... Sorry, that's my bad. Is it going to have any of the original
Nope.
cast members?
Not as far as they said. Yeah, no.
That's weird.
Because it's weird that, because Blumhouse originally was created by the people that did the Saw movies and Paranormal Activity. They came together, but I think they're wanting to go maybe back more towards their roots, or they're seeing that. So is this the beginning of gory, even more gory, just over the top movies to come? You know how it kind of goes in different it ebbs and flows as far as what's in.
Yeah.
Is this gonna catapult?
I wouldn't think so, because I don't think it's gonna be that successful.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest with you.
They do. Yeah, I don't see it breaking, 180, 200, 200 million.
I think that gore is a fad that is over. And I think that's what the Saw movies excelled at, was being extreme and gory and kind of like grit your teeth while you're watching it type
torture
movies.
porn.
Yeah. And
But now that we're so desensitized,
no, I just don't think that you can't get away with that anymore. I don't think.
you can more so in like indie films, and some of these ones like these lower, smaller budget movies. But as far as like bigger ones, yeah.
Well, I think that the psychological aspect of it is a huge part too. Like, you can't have those two things together. Like, you can have a war movie where you see someone's head explode and all of their brain matter goes everywhere.
Yeah.
But if you're like, I don't know, if there's someone in a room and there's a contraption that's going through their head like that and you're seeing brain matter, I think that's completely different. And I just don't think that it's going to survive if that's how this movie's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting. It seems like if you get a war movie, the grittier and more realistic it is, like people say, the better it is.
Yeah.
But if you get like a horror film, the more gritty and realistic it is, the more like, oh, that's terrible. You shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's weird where people draw the line at, and it's kind of like it's a gray area.
Well, it's like what the Joker.
Gray matter area?
That's what I was going for.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's like the Joker said in The Dark Knight. He said, you get a tank full of soldiers that blows up, nobody cares.
Yeah.
But if you threaten a mayor, everybody loses their minds.
Yeah.
Same thing. You see soldiers on film dying and you accept it because that's what soldiers do.
Mm-hmm.
That's their job. But if you see an innocent person strapped down, in some sort of contraption and having their jaw ripped off, you're like, oh, that's too far.
Right.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's definitely interesting. It plays a lot into like everyone their psyche and what they find to be acceptable, but I don't know.
So what's your guys' like scene in all of the Saw franchise that like grits your teeth the most, that was like the hardest to watch?
I've seen like
I haven't seen all of them. I've seen a couple.
I've seen like the first 3 or 4. I have like the whole like box set, but I just haven't like, I don't know.
I'm trying to think.
You have to be kind of in the mood for one of those type of movies.
I'm trying to think. There's something that stuck out. I think there's that famous one. I think she was on the trailer of the girl that was strapped into the thing that was in her mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And
Jigsaw's like his device that he's created. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And if she didn't do something in time, the whole thing popped open. It was like a spring.
Yeah.
Popped open.
That was in I believe the second one.
Yeah, that one stands out.
Mine is, I don't know which one it is. I think it's the third one. They're trapped in this house.
That's the second one.
That's the second one?
Yeah.
And
because that one girl was like the original survivor, and she's the only one that knows like what kind of to do.
But there's a pit full of syringes.
Oh yeah, she gets pushed in that.
Guy throws her into it.
Yeah, that's the second one.
That's.
Ooh.
She lands on all those needles and
trying to push everything around and just try to see that
I just clenched everything.
It's in it's in that same movie, but it's the dude that goes inside that tube with the fire and starts getting melted. But the syringes, yeah, definitely.
Guys, I think we're all agreeing Saw 2 is the most.
I guess it's Saw 2. Yeah, that's the one that sticks out.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I think it's you.
Okay, so we all knew that there was going to be a Flash movie coming out on the heels of the Justice League.
Yes.
Somehow it just disappeared into the woodworks. But apparently it's still on. There's just been a few roadblocks that have slowed it down. One of which is Ezra Miller, the guy who plays the Flash. Had some creative differences with the directors because he partnered with a comic book legend, Grant Morrison.
Yes, I'm familiar.
And together they decided that they wanted his backstory, or at least the script for the movie to be darker than what the studio wants. So as soon as they can agree on what they want for the direction, then it's going to move forward. Right now, it's behind schedule still. which is surprising because it's based on the
Flash.
fastest man alive.
And it's the slowest movie ever to get made.
Yeah. And there's no official due date yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I get the feeling that Ezra Miller is really difficult to work with.
Yeah.
I think he comes off as extremely pretentious, and I think he has a lot of
Stupid little
input.
demands. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, okay.
And he has a lot of opinions, but he hasn't gone to the type of fame or notoriety where he can have that kind of input and opinions yet.
Well, and even still, a lot of the times, like some of the greatest movies you'll watch, the people are like, yeah, I threw in, like, I improv'd a couple of lines, but for the most part, stayed pretty close to the script, and I worked really well with the director. Like, he was, like, really hands-on and helped me, like, better myself as an actor, you know? And then these other ones that they're just like, no, this is how I think, you know, trust me, I've been in, like, quite a few movies. Well, when I was on this movie, you know, we did it like, shut up, dude, just, like, go with the flow here.
The reason why they're called the director.
Yeah.
is because they
direct.
Yeah. And your job as an actor is to bring their vision to life.
To act. Yeah.
You can have opinions, sure. You can say, well, what about this? And give, you know, a little input. But at the end of the day, it's the director that has the final say. I mean, if Tom Hanks at this point can still take direction from a director, Ezra Miller can.
Yeah.
You know?
I personally wouldn't want to see a darker Flash. Like, DC doesn't work with... They tried the dark thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. They can't do it right. They went lighter with Shazam, and Shazam was great. They went lighter with Aquaman, and Aquaman was great.
Yeah.
Like...
I feel like they've got to find like a little happy medium, and I'm okay with them going just a little darker, but
I would say keep your dark characters dark, keep your light characters light. It's simple as that. If you make another Batman film, sure, make it dark. But if you're making Shazam or Aquaman, make them light, and especially the Flash. He's always been
goofy of all of them.
Yeah, he's always been comic relief.
Oh, absolutely.
And so make it a lighthearted film.
Do you think they'd have to go kind of the direction that they did with like Ant-Man, where because you know you had two, like especially on the first one, you had these two more comedic actors that were like playing off of each other, and it worked like perfectly.
Yeah,
you know, go that direction because you can't have the Flash be kind of the only one in the room that's being snarky or sarcastic, because I think that would. I don't know how well it would work.
Well, and you could have different like crazy characters. I mean, if you look at the Flash's rogues gallery, it's littered with nonsense.
Yeah.
Characters like the Weather Wizard and Mirror Master, and
so like they did with the TV shows, like embrace that weirdness. Yeah.
Embrace the weirdness. I think that's the motto of today's episode.
Going like channeling your inner director. Is there a particular like celebrity or direction that you like? If you had an actor or an actress like come to you, kind of like with an opinion, is there a particular like way you'd like them to almost like approach it? Like this goes out to like all of us.
I think one of the best directors that handles that well is Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
He lets the actors have input, and if they want to do another take, he goes, okay, yeah, let's try it. Let's see how it works. Yeah. And if he feels that works for what they're trying to do, he'll put their take in. Right. But if he feels it doesn't, he'll say, that was good and I liked it, but I just don't think it's going to fit with this scene or kind of what we're going for here.
Would you even say something like that to them, or just in the final cut, just go ahead and
No, because I think if you do it in Final Cut, you're going to alienate a lot of people.
Yeah.
Because the actor's going to show up at the premiere and think, oh, watch all these great things I did, all these lines I had so much input, and then there's nothing there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would think you'd have to tell him right then.
Well, that also helps to kind of set a precedence that you're like, hey, this is the direction that I want it to go. This is my movie. This is what I'd like. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost make an example and be like, I mean, I like that, but like, let's go more this direction.
Yeah.
The only time I would think that those creative differences are valid is if the director is pushing for something that's outside of what the character would do. Like,
well,
do you think Ezra was advocating to make the character of Flash like more goofy, and he wasn't agreeing with the director, then I'd be like, yeah, go for it, Ezra. You know what the Flash is like. I'm sure you've read his comics and you know that he's a comedic relief, and the director's trying to make him darker. Then I think that's different. Definitely different, but you can't put a new spin on an old character.
But I don't think that like all the time that the actor, you know, they know better than what the director wants to do with the whole direction. You know what I mean? Like, there's a fine line. Sometimes it works, but I don't think, because you get these like other actors and actresses that they're like, no, I think the character would do this. And it's like, I mean, it's one thing like you were saying, like that he's way familiar with the character and he knows what the character would do. But then you get these other people that are more like method actors that just come in and be like, no, this is the character. This is the way that I think the character is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think at the same time, even with that, there still comes to a point where you just have to accept with what the writers and the directors have,
or leave.
Yeah.
I mean, who really has the control here? Ezra definitely has a lot of control because, you know, if he walks, then they may not even have the movie take off.
Right.
Like they may not even get it off the ground. But they could also replace him with someone who's probably fits better. Because I don't think... I saw him the first time and he didn't look like the Flash. Still doesn't.
He still doesn't.
No. Isn't the Flash blonde?
Yeah. Yes. Barry Allen is blonde.
No, he's a redhead and they took him off.
They replaced him with Idris Elba.
That's a callback, kids, to last episode. Okay. So, I had to throw this story in, because you know how I love the Ninja Turtles.
It's your bread and butter.
It is. There's going to be a new Ninja Turtle coming to the comics, starting in issue number 95. And it's a female Ninja Turtle, and her name is Jennica, or Jenny for short. So, the interesting... This turtle has a very interesting origin story. Jennica was a member of the Foot Clan. She was a foot soldier.
Yeah.
But she started to kind of go away from that. She started to see what Splinter was teaching Ninja Turtles, and she started to gravitate towards that. Started, having Splinter be her mentor.
So she doesn't have to basically start from the beginning, she's already familiar with martial arts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for her troubles, she gets a sword in the gut, courtesy of Karai, Shredder's daughter, and it's a potentially fatal wound. So what happens is, after they bandage the wound, she has to have a blood transfer. She's lost a lot, so she gets a blood transfer from Leonardo, and that changes her into a turtle.
Oh, This whole time I was thinking she was a turtle, and I was like, what a coincidence.
Nope. She was human. Now she's a turtle.
Okay, so they really are mutant turtles then, because their mutant cells took over her cells.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That's logic I can get behind.
Okay, but you've got Leonardo, Donatello, Michelangelo, Raphael, and Jenny. I don't think there are any female Renaissance painters.
Give me a female Renaissance painter.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, don't you think that they could have gone more...
Well, her name... She already had her name before she became a turtle.
Yeah.
Her name was already Jennica.
Well, couldn't they have named her something else so that the Foot Clan doesn't know who she is? You know what I mean? To kind of...
Guys, there are some. I just looked up some female Renaissance artists.
Who we got?
Okay.
Sophonisba Anguinisola.
Yeah, a little much. Call her Sophie.
There's Lavinia Fontana.
That's not bad. Lavinia?
Okay. Yeah.
That'd be a good one.
Plotilla, Nelly.
Yeah.
Plotilla. Plotilla the Hun.
Fede Galizia.
Feedy.
Phoebe.
Look, this is
Phoebe.
Elizabetta.
Phoebes.
Elizabetta
Sereni.
That's
Boom. See, that would have been much better.
And that took you like 5 seconds to Google it.
Right?
Hire me.
I just feel like they could give her more of a name that fits the rest of the group, you know? Otherwise, she's already kind of the odd man out,
so to speak.
Right? So she's already going to have kind of a difficult time with that. So,
well, you know,
for fans embracing it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, again, she was human before, so Splinter didn't name her.
Yeah.
You know?
You saw some art, some pre-character, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say.
It's,
concept designs.
Concept, yeah.
Where she had boobs, and you thought that it looked really bad, and then they took away the boobs, and it looks a lot better?
No,
this time they didn't. In the previous times they had.
See, if you look right here, this was a character named Venus de Milo.
Oh, I see.
Yes, that showed up on Ninja Turtles: The New Mutation.
Yeah.
And she had turtle boobs. Which makes no sense.
No.
Why would a reptile, have breasts? That's for feeding milk for their young. Turtles don't do that. So it makes no sense. Plus, she had a light blue mask, so she looked like a female Leonardo. But this one looks
Yellow
more
mask.
turtle-y. She has the yellow mask, kind of, and she has like Wolverine blades, even though there's 4.
All you have to do is make her have like a little less, more like feminine curves and like not so broad shoulders.
I don't even think you do that. I think you just give her a female voice. Well, I mean, it's a comic, so you can't. But
in your head, you can.
Well, and I think the way they're going to draw her, she is going to be a bit more, a bit slimmer. She's not going to be as muscly, you know. Yeah.
And her blades that she's got, it's like Wolverine style.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Well, I mean, even though there's, I mean, it's an actual ninja weapon.
Yeah. What's the name of it?
I don't remember.
Right?
Doesn't Shredder have some too?
He has a lot of blades.
Yeah, but they're like just covering his body.
Yeah, but I don't think those are actual ninja weapons. I think they're just like he wants blades on his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's Shredder and that's what he does.
Shreddy Cougar.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's a cool way to go, and like I said on Facebook, I hope the character makes the jump to like TV and movies and stuff. Hope she sticks around for a while.
Who would you like to have her be voice acted by?
Trying to think.
Since you're our expert voice actor, you know.
Maybe Ariel Winter from Modern Family. Because she was Robin in the Dark Knight Returns movie.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of younger actresses. Or Sarah Hyland, again from Modern Family. She could do it.
It'll be kind of interesting to see, you know, if she sticks around.
Yeah.
I think she will. This helps, like, if anything, it only brings the turtles back into the limelight again. Yeah. You know, keeps them interesting, keeps them fresh.
Could bring in new readers, maybe new female readers.
Who do you think is gonna, like, okay, because Michelangelo has always had a huge crush on, well, okay, same with Donatello, has also had a crush on April, right?
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to be the one that, like, falls for this one?
Let's give it to Raphael.
Yeah?
You know, because Leonardo has gone after, he had a little crush on Karai, Donatello, April in the comics, Michelangelo, pretty much any female.
Yeah.
But Raphael has never really had a love interest. Let's ship those two.
Because Raphael's got kind of similar with his size, has kind of a similar, I think there's going to be some, like, fights between the two of them with their weapons being kind of similar. I don't know. Yeah.
Love fights. You know, when people fight a lot, you can tell that there's sexual energy between them.
Yeah. That makes sense.
That was in a show that we watched this week, or last week.
Oh, right.
Stranger Things. Okay, I'm picking
reference
up
there, guys.
Man.
I was trying to think of like my own life. I'm like, is that true?
Like, who do I fight with?
I was
Shut
getting
up,
all,
Mom!
I fight with my mom a lot.
I was getting all introspective with it. And you're just doing a segue.
Oh, that was. I was trying to pick up. Wait, I'm like, where's he going with this? Is this a segue? What is this? So Netflix. This is after, in lieu of Stranger Things, Netflix vows to curb on-screen smoking aimed at Stranger Things critics. Going forward, all projects that are commissioned and rated TV 14 or below from the from series, or PG-13 and below for films, will be smoking and e-cigarette free.
Okay, to quote Peter Griffin, who the hell cares?
Yeah. Okay. Plus,
True.
If you had any, type of if you had a brain at all, you would realize, oh wait, this is set in the 80s.
Yep.
Right? Rules were different as far as cigarettes and
Everybody was
everything.
smoking.
Yeah. Right?
It was all smoking and cocaine.
So it didn't seem out of and it wasn't like it was more than the previous two seasons, right? Maybe. I guess Hopper might have smoked a little bit more in this season.
It was more.
Well,
they
Hopper
didn't really
had
have
problems.
the main characters smoking in the last seasons.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean, I'm trying to remember, but they come out like once a year, so it's hard to think back on season 2.
Oh, I think it's been. Has it been only a year since season 2 came out?
I thought so.
Yeah. I guess we'll talk about it later. I already have I already have theories.
All right.
But, yeah, it just seems they said, well, unless it's time appropriate, which this is time appropriate, but they're like, unless it's time appropriate, then we'll kind of stray away from cigarettes altogether.
And this is dumb for many, many reasons. If they're worried about kids, I don't think this show is it aimed to kids?
No.
I've never thought of it as like a kid's show.
No. It's pretty graphic
It
in
is.
some parts, right?
And it's got language and stuff like that. And so there's that. Also, if you're going to shield kids from cigarettes, don't let them ever go outside.
Yeah.
Into the real world. Because guess what? People are smoking out there.
Right.
Not as much as years past, but it still happens.
A lot more vaping. But yeah.
And let me ask you this. Have you ever seen, when you were growing up, did you ever see someone smoking in a movie or TV show and think, I want to do that? Did it ever influence you?
No.
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 Not once.
No.
No, me neither.
No.
But we're the elite, guys.
We are elitists.
We're high.
That's
we're
true.
high-minded. We're not affected by the quibbles.
We don't give in
mortals.
to, peer pressure or all these other things.
I don't know. I just don't see the point. Like, people just need to stop being such babies about everything.
I agree.
They're looking to be offended, and I mean, obviously, if you try hard enough, you can find something, but...
You find something in everything.
Yeah.
And it's not the first time that something like this has happened. In the comics world, Wolverine used to smoke all the time.
Oh, yeah.
He always
cigar.
he always had
smoking.
a cigar.
Oh, yeah.
Once the 90s cartoon hit, they ended that, and Wolverine didn't smoke anymore.
But they didn't have to come out and make like a public announcement and say like, "Hey, we're not like with all of our cartoons, we're going to be more kid appropriate," or these are the boundaries that we've set.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, they can kind of figure it out.
You just kind of notice in the comics, all of a sudden, Wolverine isn't smoking anymore.
You probably don't even notice it.
You don't.
It's so hard to notice things that are missing.
Yeah.
Instead of things that suddenly appear.
All of a sudden, you're thinking years back, you're like, oh, wait. I don't remember him having a cigar for years. Huh.
Right.
Interesting. And that's all you think about it.
I think the last time didn't he have one like in the movies?
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman did.
Yeah, had him smoking, but
that movie was also not aimed for children.
No.
Right?
Indeed not.
So I had a revelation as soon as I saw this article. You guys remember in Spider-Man Homecoming, Donald Glover was in the movie. For some reason. It was so weird. Such a weird...
Odd little cameo
for someone who's... So, I mean, he wasn't super famous, but he's a famous guy. And I was like, what the heck? It was just super random. And then I get to this article. So, Don Glover's character in that show, his name is Aaron Davis.
Yes.
Now, if you guys know from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, or if you're familiar with the Spider-Man comics, Aaron Davis is Miles Morales' uncle, a.k.a. The Prowler.
Yeah.
Yep.
I read this article, and I was like, mind blown. It was so cool. I just didn't think about it, and now it makes sense why they would have such a big actor be in such a small part of the movie. So they were going to put him in a cameo in Spider-Man Far From Home, but they just couldn't fit it into the script.
I think it would seem out of place.
Yeah, for sure. Especially such a small character coming back.
Just to keep him, like, hey, remember guys, don't forget.
And they're in Paris and Europe. I mean, where was he going to show up?
Yeah.
Well, I think that they planned on putting him in the airport before they left.
Gotcha.
Just passes by, bumped shoulders or something.
Would have been a really cool end credit scene to have him in there.
Yeah.
But, yeah, it was super cool. So I think that they're going to have him introduced at some point. In these movies.
I wouldn't doubt
This is what they could have done: is it have Spider-Man, after he gets a reveal that he's Peter Parker, and he's like, "What the?" And then it pans down to Donald Glover, and he's like, "Shut your mouth," or just like language, or says something like that. I don't know. It would have been hilarious.
He does make a mention, that character in Homecoming, that he has a nephew.
Yeah.
That he doesn't want to be brought up in such a bad environment, blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. So we know that Miles Morales does exist in that universe.
Mm-hmm. Which it's really cool that they already have been planning this for years. You know what I mean? That this is the direction they already know they're going to go.
Yeah.
However, I did hear a rumor that Sony said if Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse doesn't make $1 billion, then they're going to discontinue their relationship with Marvel.
I heard that as well.
Really?
Yeah. And I don't think it's very close to making $1 billion.
Well, that seems like
a high benchmark for them to, whether that's a success or not, is $1 billion. No, you only hit 958 million.
No,
sorry, we're not going to make them again.
Film has ever made $1 billion. I don't think. Well,
did I say Into the Spider-Verse?
Yeah,
I meant Far From Home.
Oh, okay. Far From Home, but still, even still, I don't even think it's reached 300 million yet.
Well, I think their logic behind it is, I think it's at 600 million.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, it's jumped.
Their logic behind it is all of the Spider-Man movies have made at least 600 million.
Yeah.
That they've made before. So if they're only going to make 600 millions while they're doing this partnership with Marvel, then they might as well do it themselves.
That's chump change.
But then again, Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man we've ever had.
Yes.
If that deal is severed, they can't use Tom Holland. They have to get their own Spider-Man.
Yeah, that would.
And they can't have cameos from any of the other Marvel characters. I think that if they do that, that's a bad plan.
That's a dumb idea, because they're not going to make 600 million if it's just Sony and they get rid of Tom Holland.
Because they've set the bar so high.
Yes. Yeah.
We were fine with subpar Spider-Man movies until Tom Holland came around.
Yeah.
And blew our minds.
And once you got that Disney money behind you, you can do all kinds of crazy things and have these awesome films, and yeah, that's a bad plan.
I do think that,
but it is Sony, so it makes sense.
Yeah, Donald Glover would make an excellent villain.
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, you saw it a little bit in Solo, how he can be kind of a bad guy.
Yeah, no, he'd be a great. I did pull it up though, Troy. Frozen, Incredibles 2, Minions, Toy Story 3, Despicable Me, Finding Dory, and Zootopia.
I told you there are no animated films that have made, except for those
just the top 7. Yeah,
you got all your words right here. You want to eat them?
Yeah, thanks.
Eat some crow. No,
let me dislodge my foot from my mouth.
Well, I just think it's really funny. Incredibles and Toy Story, all made it. Made the list.
Well, I know. As soon as I said that, though, I did think about Toy Story. Wait.
Yeah. If any animated movie is going to be able to do it, it's going to be Toy Story.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry, just fact-checking.
No,
I didn't want to throw out fake news here.
I mean, it does.
We don't want fake news here.
It does help that Toy Story is literally for all ages.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A 1-year-old could enjoy watching Toy Story as well as a 90-year-old. The less than 1 or older than 90,
Yeah.
I hate it.
91, not going to enjoy it.
Fetuses hate Toy Story.
That's the takeaway.
All right. So, Flintstones. That's a name you haven't heard for a while.
Yeah.
They're coming back with a new series, new primetime series in the works from Elizabeth Banks, who keeps coming up in the podcast for some reason, and her Brownstone Productions, which is weird because last time I heard Seth MacFarlane owned the rights to the Flintstones, but I don't know. But yeah, the Flintstones are coming back.
You guys want to know the difference between Dubai and Abu Dhabi?
What's that?
The people from Dubai do not watch the Flintstones, but the people from Abu Dhabi do.
Wow. Ugh.
Isn't that the best joke ever? Yabba dabba doo.
Yeah, no, I got it. I got it.
Tell your kids. Nah, they wouldn't get it. They're like, what the heck is the Flintstones?
It's like, what are you talking about, Dad? I don't know.
There's better ones that I would have liked to see make a resurgence or come back. You know, Darkwing Duck would have been much better. Even the Jetsons. I think
would be great.
Yeah,
Jetsons would be good.
Right?
Jetsons would make more sense, actually.
Yeah, kind of this futuristic world.
Yeah.
But the Flintstones, that just, I don't know.
I mean,
Let them die with the dinosaurs.
This is still going to be animated, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let the Flintstones remain extinct.
I think the Jetsons could be really cool.
Yeah.
Like, with new animation styles, really quality voice acting.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we have, technology is advanced, you can kind of use that type of technology in the Jetsons and have them using stuff like hologram technology and stuff like that. Yeah, it could be cool.
Yeah.
But
because
no,
for the Flintstones, this is advanced technology. Animating these cavemen is...
Well, you're going to have like kids like us that grew up, somewhat watching it. I watched like quite a bit of it. I had the Flintstone vitamins.
And even with us, when we were watching, the Flintstones was an old show.
Oh, yeah.
Even then. It ran from 1960 to 1966. With 150 episodes. But I mean, we've tried this. We had the Flintstone. They made a little resurgence back in the mid 90s with those two movies.
Yeah.
And they failed.
Yeah.
I think the first one was semi-successful, but I mean,
I don't even remember anything from the second one.
Yeah, exactly. Just let it go. It's done, I think. We don't need it.
Speaking of things we do need, however, Rocket Man.
Dobby do. Man.
Rocket Man's director, Dexter Fletcher, to direct Sherlock Holmes 3. And they've already got Robert Downey Jr. on board for the project as well.
And Jude Law, I think.
And Jude Law, yep. The first one came out in 2009, second one 2011, and then, he's been busy with Iron Man and other projects.
Yeah, he's done a few other things.
Which was crazy. Okay, get this. He accepted, I looked this up just yesterday, he accepted Robert Downey Jr. $20 million for Endgame, right? But then he also took, I think it was like an 8% or 7% on whatever it made. So in total, he's sitting at $75 million for that movie. Just that one movie alone.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nuts.
Yeah. I mean, good on him, and yeah, but still, that's a lot of money.
So, a funny thing about Sherlock Holmes is my wife's introduction to it was the Benedict Cumberbatch version.
Right.
Yeah.
And we watched those, and she loved it. She had a great time watching it. And then we attempted to watch Sherlock Holmes, and then we haven't watched the second one yet. But she's like, I can't do this. It has to be Benedict Cumberbatch. Like, he's Sherlock in my mind. And I was like, yeah, I kind of get that. Anyway, so fast forward a few years, I convinced her to watch it again. And she really enjoyed it, and we're going to watch the second one. And then, now all of a sudden, here comes some plans for a third one. I just think that's...
Booyah.
I think that's great.
It works like... it works really well, and it was like at first, I mean, I wasn't skeptical because the crew, the cast is amazing, but I was kind of skeptical because I've seen other like the Musketeer movies and other ones that they've tried to make more action-packed and adventurous, and it's just like he's a detective though at the like at the core of everything.
Yeah.
But this one they found like a happy medium that works like seamlessly. I don't know. He's arrogant and snarky enough, but at the same time also can, jump out of a stagecoach or something and hold his own. Yeah.
I think really what makes Sherlock Holmes movie or TV show successful is his relationship with Watson.
Yeah, the chemistry there has to be spot on.
Yeah.
I agree.
And I think they did great in both sets of Sherlock Holmes.
Oh, for sure.
Yep.
I was really sad to see that, like, the Benedict Cumberbatch one, Sherlock, come to an end. It was...
Has Jude Law been in a Marvel movie?
Yes.
Yeah, he has.
Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
So, both Sherlocks and both Watsons have been in Marvel movies.
Whoa, that's true.
Whoa, that's pretty trippy.
Huh. There's a lot of weird crossover there.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Hollywood is inbred.
So we're gonna talk some Stranger Things here.
Yes.
We might get into it a bit more in the post-credit scene after the episode, but just really quick, overall, what do you guys think?
I really enjoyed it. I liked the direction that they went, kind of Invasion of the Body Snatchers meets spy Russian espionage. Yeah, that was kind of like the mashup the takeaway from it.
I liked it, but I don't think I liked it as much as Season 2. Because I feel like Season 2 was more like character progression, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, story arcs were advanced and everything. Like 11 went off and did that stuff with those, petty criminals that also had superpowers.
That to me seemed a little out of place. I hope in the 4th season they do bring that full circle. She hasn't, like, they haven't even mentioned her dad at all.
It's true.
Like, they just, I feel like they went more into the how and the why, and then this season wasn't as much. It was just like, everything that was happening, you saw it as it was happening.
Yeah.
And there was no, like, contemplation.
Yeah, I still think, for me personally, Season 1 is still my favorite.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think it was such something new, and it was something really different. It felt like if Steven Spielberg had created a TV show.
It was basically Super 8 is what it kind of felt like.
Yeah.
It felt like.
And there was a lot of build-up. Like, there wasn't a battle until the final episode.
Yeah.
And that was really cool.
There's a lot of build-up.
Yeah.
There's a lot of mystery. And I think, season 2 also had that. And season 3, though good, I think, I don't know.
They relied too heavily also on 11 and her ability to save them to where they didn't seem as in peril or like, I wasn't that worried about these characters.
Yeah.
Well, at least from the get-go.
And that's why they had... Oh, I can't say that.
Yeah.
Right. Save that for later.
Yeah.
But also, and I heard the criticism of this, and I thought it was kind of genius. In the first 2 seasons, the Upside Down was a character in and of itself.
Right.
Right? When in season 2, when Hopper goes through that tunnel, the camera literally flips upside down. You're like, oh, he made it through. He made it in there.
Yeah.
This one, it was just a giant hole in the wall.
And only one person went to the upside down, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there really wasn't that mystery anymore. It was more of action. It was more, not... It seems like they kind of steered away from the whole mystery angle and what's happening and trying to figure all this out.
For sure.
Yeah.
It wasn't as psychological.
Right.
Either.
Yes. That's true.
It was all physical.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know. To me, psychological danger is way more scary than anything physical.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I mean... It also seemed like they did a lot more with romance this time around.
Right.
Yeah, relationships.
Yeah.
Okay,
feelings.
the one thing
It was really awkward seeing those two kiss.
Yeah.
11 and what's his face?
Oh, they all seem so grown up too.
Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
And okay, so you know Lucas. I saw a thumbnail for his Hot Ones interview.
Yeah.
He has like facial hair. Like he looks like he's like 18 or older. But then like you see him in the show and he's not that way. It's weird.
Yeah, there's just something about seeing young teens like making out that just no.
So you definitely could side with like Hopper and
yes.
like cringeworthy.
Yes.
Yeah.
No,
Like,
I fully
keep the door open.
I fully understood.
3 inches.
What I did like though is the parenting style was very 80s in the fact that they didn't care where the heck their kids were.
Yeah.
They didn't know,
Oh, yeah.
and they were just like, well, I don't know. I saw them. They were over at this person's house, and this person, I don't know where
Like
they are.
if until it's dark, you didn't really care about being home. Or, yeah, not worried.
So I think Hopper and what's her face, Mrs. Byers, they were gone for like days. It seemed like.
Oh yeah.
Like they weren't home for days, and it's like, well, I should probably check in with the kids.
What did you think about the chemistry with those two characters?
I liked it.
Yeah.
Because I like seeing like established actors like that really play off of each other. Mm-hmm. And those two are established actors. They're veteran actors, so it was cool to kind of see them have kind of build that chemistry and play off of each other, and I like that.
The one of the things I didn't like is the radios that they used in this season, where they kept saying like, "I repeat, this is a code red. I repeat." I'm like, "Oh my god!" He kept saying it like 20 times.
Well,
that's
Dustin, and he's kind of a.
Well, no, it was all of them.
Was it?
Yeah, even like when they're in the mall and they're trying to like communicate with each other, and they kept, "I repeat, I repeat." I'm like, "Oh my."
So I think the reason why they do that is because radios aren't like cell phones. Like we don't always have them on us.
Yeah.
He probably was just repeating that because you don't know when someone's going to hear it. So
it made sense. It made perfect sense. I get it, but it was just on the screen. It was annoying. It got old pretty quick.
And Susie with a Z from Utah.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
It's like, that's about right. And they asked what Mormons are and said really religious white people. I'm like, yep.
Got it.
Yep.
Bingo.
Spot on.
Well, aren't the directors, aren't they originally, the brothers, aren't they from Utah?
I have no idea.
I want to say that they were or something.
The Duffer Brothers? I have no idea.
I know that there's somewhere there's ties with Utah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else.
It's difficult without like getting too spoilerish.
Yeah.
But it's funny because if you actually like the series at all, you probably already watched it.
Yeah.
Right? Within the first couple of days.
I mean, it's been out for almost 2 weeks now.
That's true. Carrie Elwes as the mayor. I thought he was a little cartoony.
Yeah.
Which he's lost a lot of weight. I don't know if you've noticed.
He has.
Because he blimped up for a while after Princess Diaries. And
right.
I had a hard time recognizing him. He was so skinny.
Yeah.
Because he was in an episode or a few episodes of Psych as something Despero.
Oh,
he was
yeah.
a Canadian
the spy dude.
Mastermind, yeah.
Yeah, he pops up every now and again. It's always good to see him when he shows up. It's like, hey, it's Carrie Elwes.
But he did seem kind of cartoony and just...
He was
because he was the middleman between these guys, like, hey, you need to find them, and then he would just, like, go do his own thing, and then, like, oh, hey, they ran past me at the fair, I better call in.
Yeah. I also think they really tried to cram in a lot with this. Not only did it have the whole, creatures and everything, but they had the Soviet underground bunker and trying to cram in, Russians because it's 1985, so it didn't have to be Russians. Mm-hmm. And,
there was a lot of cramming. I hope that they...
too much here and there.
Because they're kind of on a finite schedule where they're only going to have technically, 4 seasons, right?
Yeah.
So they've got to, how do we create a full season, include this, and then also segue into the next season, or give...
Yeah.
Which they did, towards the very end, which we'll get into, later. They did they have a direction, I think.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Overall, out of 5...
Walkie-talkies?
Sure.
Yeah?
We'll go with
5
that.
scoops?
5 scoops? Ooh, there you go.
Scoop, yeah. That was an actual Baskin-Robbins that they transformed into Scoops Ahoy.
Really?
Yeah, it was a real working Baskin-Robbins.
What did you think
Real
about
working
those
mall,
two characters? And, what did you think about them?
Oh, yeah. The teams, we should talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
I liked that little dynamic.
Yeah.
I liked
Dusty and
Dustin and what's his face,
the kid sister.
I didn't like her.
Really?
It doesn't make any sense.
She annoyed the crap out of me.
No kid is that freaking smart.
No.
It's just...
And she was annoying. I just wanted to slap her all the time. But yeah, I like that dynamic. Yeah. Anyway, pretty much all I have to say about that. I liked it. But yeah, out of 5 walkie-talkies, I would give it... I'm probably like 2.5, honestly.
Same,
yeah. See, season 3, I was probably seriously at a 4. It was great. It was something new. Season 2...
you mean season 1?
Excuse me. Okay. Season 1 is probably at a 4. Season 2 is probably at maybe a 3. And now this season 2.5.
Yeah. Hopefully season 4 can get back to basics.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I bet they will. I bet they'll do a lot more with 11. They'll do a lot more with exploring her powers and
especially with
maybe giving other people powers.
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Right?
Bring back those other kids she was with, and I bet that's the direction they go.
Yeah. That and man, I want to spoil some other stuff, but I'll save it for later.
We'll talk about it here in a second.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me pull up my thing.
Please don't.
I didn't say pull out my thing. I said pull up my thing.
So you already had it out?
Yeah.
Rock out with your cock out. You don't record the episode?
Oh, shoot. Almost fell.
Sad because you saw... No.
Okay. So here's where you can find all of our episodes. You can go to worldwarg.podbean.com. We're on iTunes, Google Play, and cosmicpotato.com. On social media, you can find us at facebook.com/worldwargpodcast. We're on Twitter and Instagram at WWG Podcast. You can find all of our merchandise, which we still have, though we don't talk about it much, it's still there, at shop.spreadshirt.com/worldwarg. You can also email us anytime.
Day or night.
At worldwgpodcast@gmail.com. You can also call or text the show at any time at 385-240-1692. So this has been World War G episode 226. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
And I've been Colton.
Stay geeky, my friends. All right, now welcome back to our post-credit scene. We're starting to be like Marvel.
Yeah,
hang around after the credits.
It's less formal. It's more fun.
Exactly.
Aw, yeah.
We're not beholden to stories or anything.
And there's no downsides to this either.
No.
If you guys want to stop listening, you can, but you won't.
So let's talk about spoilers in Stranger Things season 3 with this question: do you think Hopper's really dead?
Yes. Yeah. Well, no, actually, right. Wait, no, okay, no, I don't know.
Look, it's not a coincidence that everybody in the movie that smoked is dead. Smoking kills.
Smoking kills.
I actually, if I have to take that back, I don't think he's dead because they've showed everybody else that has died. Plus, at the very end, where they're like, go grab the American, and they pull that dude out. You don't see who it is.
Oh yeah, their post-credit
cell.
scene. Mm-hmm. They said no, not the American, and they grabbed the other guy.
Yeah. So
they
is
had
that
a post-credit scene?
They did.
Yeah,
Frick. Okay, I gotta go back and watch it.
Yeah. I'm not sure if that's Elle's daddy, or like whoever created her, if that was him or if it was Hopper. But they didn't show him die, which they showed even Sean Austin's character and all these other guys. Even in this season, what's the one kid's name that sacrificed himself?
Billy.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
They even showed his death, but they didn't show Hopper's.
Didn't show his. I'm kind of in the mind that I don't think he's dead either.
It's basically, it reminds me a lot of The Walking Dead and Glenn. Kind of a moment, right? Underneath the trash can, kind of a moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There are theories out there that, the Russians found him. Also, that maybe he jumped into the Upside Down.
But I think he probably jumped into the Upside Down, if anything, because those Russians that got hit by that thing just got completely blew up.
Yeah.
Eviscerated. I don't even know what you call it.
Yeah.
They were in little pieces, so he had to do something pretty quick. Plus, he was pretty quick. He was pretty close to the opening, so he could have just kind of jumped the railing.
I don't know. It seemed like it was like a good 10, 15 yards. You think he could have gone that far in that little
He's Hellboy, dude.
Well, maybe he might have. I don't know. Maybe it blew him back or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But wasn't the big vagina in the wall? Wasn't that closed? Didn't they seal it up? The big glowing vagina in the wall.
It takes time to warm it up.
I think it only sealed after the thing stopped. After it was done being penetrated,
right?
Then it closed up.
Well, it makes sense.
You know what I don't understand? Why did turning it off blow it up? That doesn't make sense to me at all.
Yeah,
I don't know. That
was the only thing that was keeping it open.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, there were some moments they didn't always explain. Why did 11 lose her powers all of a sudden?
For the plot.
Yeah,
got it.
But then, you saw, it said 3 months later, right? And she still hadn't got her because she couldn't even move that teddy bear. She couldn't do, she couldn't do anything.
And what the heck triggered that? She pulled the thing out of her leg?
Exactly.
I think that was taking the rest of her abilities or the rest of her power that she had to pull it, extract it. That kind of drained her completely of her powers, but it seemed, or it actually, because it latched onto her pretty good.
Yeah.
Are we going to talk about how hard that scene was to watch? He stuck his finger underneath her skin.
Yeah.
Oh
man. Talk about Saw.
That was pretty cringeworthy for sure.
But and right before she did, I was just like, why didn't she just pull it out with her powers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking too. She's like, no, I'll do it. Every time she spoke and used actual words, it just surprised me.
Well, you saw
I'm so used to her not talking.
Not speaking, yeah.
She's had time in this world, and then she saw those books, the speaking English and learning English, But
even then, she doesn't speak in complete sentences.
No, yeah.
When she got the letter from Hopper, she asked, "Can I read?"
Yeah.
Didn't say,
It's
"Can I
still
read it? Can I see it?"
broken English, but it's getting better.
Yeah.
I do like to see from season 1 where she didn't even speak at all, that kind of development.
Yeah. It was interesting to me that the buyers upped and moved away.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I didn't think she was actually going to sell her house.
No.
I thought she was going to stay in the town. But.
And that's what I think is what's gonna draw him back, because what's his bucket? Mike said, "Hey, I'm gonna see you for Christmas. Are you gonna come back for Christmas?" And because they've always done it on a holiday, I think the 4th season's gonna be Christmas.
We're gonna get a Christmas season. That'd be cool.
That'd be cold,
right?
That'd be cold.
At the beginning of the season, I thought there was going to be a lot more psychological influence, because didn't Hopper seem like really irrationally angry all the
He
time?
did.
I feel like there were more than one character that were like that. I was like, there's something going on in the town that's making people angry.
Yeah.
Like irritable and stuff. But that didn't end up being the case.
It seems like that's just what David Harbour does. That's just his acting.
Mm-hmm.
Because he did that in Hellboy too. He would just yell for no reason.
Like, okay, well,
all right. Fair enough.
Like I thought at times he was going on a murderous rampage.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to kill Mike.
It did kind of seem that way.
Which after, speaking about him, Uncon that they had here in Ogden, he was supposed to be the big person to come to town, but then he had to cancel it because Hellboy did so poorly that they just kind of like,
I don't want to show my face.
Let that kind of, sleeping dogs lie.
To be buff. Did that Hellboy muscle go away quick?
I think most of that was prosthetics.
No, he did a huge, pretty strict regimen for a while.
Really?
Like you saw a lot of different.
So he
videos.
probably filmed Stranger Things season 3 before he did Hellboy. I bet that was the case.
Must have.
He lost a lot of that Hopper weight.
So he'll come back from the upside down, all slim and trim.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe. I also like that they showed Back to the Future.
Yes.
That was good. I like that.
That was great.
And those two had that discussion about why it was called Back to the Future, and I thought that was pretty funny.
Even like that bathroom scene was fantastically filmed. I thought that was great, where he was like, Steve was saying like, hey, kind of confessing his love for her, and then she's just like, nope, it's actually because I was jealous. This other girl was like looking at you that way.
It's like, but she's a girl. She's like,
yeah. And like to us, it's so weird for us to think, because this is 2019, that we're just like, I got it, okay. But then he was pretty cool about accepting it as well, which was, I don't know, I thought it was kind of nice.
But still, even then back in the 80s, the whole AIDS scare,
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, they weren't too keen on homosexuality.
I think that was more for like the male counterpart to being gay as. Like, because it was gay males that had it,
Right.
It seemed like everybody else had, like, kind of a love interest or something. Is Steve gonna find love? Because, to me, it seems so weird that Jonathan is with Nancy. It seems out of place. Jonathan...
Oh, you mean discount Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah. He looks...
Discount Jimmy Fallon.
He looks kind of homely.
She would have been better with Billy.
Yeah, right?
A.K.A. discount Zac Efron.
Zac Efron. Yep. I was just going to say that.
Still rocking the stash. That's wow. Did he redeem himself in your guys' eyes when he sacrificed himself?
I mean, this whole season he redeemed himself by not wearing makeup. Because he wore makeup last season.
To me, no, because he was always a jerk.
Yeah.
Through all these seasons, he was always a jerk.
Yeah. I guess 11, like, to me, he didn't redeem himself entirely, but I did like to see that he was, like, a messed up kid because Elle's seeing his past and these different scenes as he's growing up.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, man, that's pretty rough, kid.
You guys know who the true villain in this season was? Susie with a Z, the Mormon from Utah. You want to know why?
Why is that?
Because she made Dustin sing that song, which is the reason why Hopper and Billy were killed.
Because that's true.
It was literally a 1 second difference between Hopper and Joyce turning that key and that assassin guy, the Russian assassin guy, getting them. So if Susie hadn't made Dustin sing that song with her, then they would have had plenty of time.
Damn Mormons. No,
always messing things up.
What did you guys think about the Russian guy? Speaking of him, as this
Terminator.
I thought he was kind of out of place. I thought that was weird.
Yeah,
like this Russian super soldier that just showed up all of a sudden,
and he has the Mike Myers walk down.
Oh yeah,
where he just walks, but he is all of a sudden caught up with you.
That's because actually when they're off screen, they're running. That's my theory. They just sprint. They're out of breath. When they're on screen, they're like, oh, gotta look good. Cameras are on.
Were you guys sad about Alexei?
Yeah, not as sad. Like
Not
some people.
really.
Well, okay, some people were saying like they were crying and like even my mom was talking. Like she's like one of my coworkers. He was bawling after the third season. I'm like, dude, like grow a pair. Like it was. I mean, it was like sad, but still.
I was sad because it's really sad to see someone killed at the height of their happiness, like when they're enjoying something.
Yeah,
and then like, okay, you're dead now.
Yeah, but at least he had those happy memories and moments and stuff beforehand.
Yeah. He died with a Woody.
it's true. He did. He did. Yeah, and he's now like the internet's favorite character, of course. And
oh, jeez. Yeah.
He's like the new Barb.
Mm-hmm.
Bob.
Yeah.
Bob.
New Bob. Bob was the best.
I did like Bob. Yeah, I like Bob. I was gonna ask that redheaded girl that was with Max.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to remember all these character names. Was she?
Dude,
she was in.
up.
She was in season 2, right?
Yeah,
she was.
Okay,
she was in the arcade. Remember, she had the high score on all the games.
Oh yeah,
and they're like, this guy Max, and it wasn't a guy.
It was
That's
a girl.
Right. It was okay.
That seemed weird. Like that seemed a little out of place with like her and Lucas hooking up, and Lucas was such a shitty boyfriend to her.
Yeah, he wasn't great.
No. Yeah.
He was backing up his bro, though. I mean, it's bros before hoes. Because she turned 11 against Mike. And so he's like, you know what? If you're going to do that, then I'm going to go be with my friend and make him feel better.
Yeah, I mean, it was very high schooly. The 11 and Max getting all upset with them, and
this kind of
guys don't know what they did, and all that. Yeah,
it was kind of interesting to see how 11 used her abilities to kind of like manipulate certain situations, or she had more of an insight than they did. You know,
I felt bad for the kid that just wanted to play D&D,
right?
Will with his friends. Will, yeah. Because I've been that kid.
Yeah, come on, guys, let's play. Let's do something. Sorry, I gotta ask my girlfriend. I gotta ask my wife. I
was Will, and Joel was Mike. Joel was off dating and everything, and I was just like, let's just hang out, play video games.
Girl, I got a new comic book.
He's like, no, I have a date. I'm like,
no. Hear that, Joel?
Yeah. You mic'd me, Joel. You mic'd me.
Watch, he's gonna call into the next episode. I've got a couple of things to say. Or Joel's line, is that what we're calling it now?
Joel's line. Yeah. Yep. I don't know, anything else stick out to you guys? They did a lot with the mall culture.
Okay, so they were called the Demogorgons, right? Those dogs? Demodogs,
yeah. Right?
They're having one in at the end, they brought one back that the Russians have been feeding humans to. Yeah. Is that what they're gonna, that's gonna be the menacing creature?
I think so. I think they're bringing them back.
That doesn't make any sense to me, though. Because once the portal was closed, the big monster, the Mind Flayer, was killed. So shouldn't the Demodogs die as well?
Because they were more... because that was the whole reason that the Mind Flayer, once it got out, they closed it back up the first time, and the Mind Flayer was still out inside Will. Right?
I don't know.
Because you had that huge menacing creature that was inside Will, and then the other creature, the Mind Flayer, escaped, but when they closed it back up, when 11 closed it up in season 2, it was still out in the world.
It was trapped.
It was trapped out here. Yeah. So I think they've just been so I don't think they necessarily die.
Well, then how did it get destroyed when the portal was closed? That doesn't make any sense then.
They were throwing fireworks at it, and she helped destroy it, I think.
I don't know. Plot holes.
Yeah.
That was so interesting, the way that they did that with, the humans, and that was pretty gnarly to see them just, turn into mush.
Oh yeah,
and then get absorbed into
it.
This was a much more darker season as far as showing gore and whatnot.
Yeah, it's definitely yucky.
Yeah, all those dicks at the newspaper.
Yeah,
yeah. They're like, let's rank up their douchiness to like 11 with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, I thought they were just a little cartoony. Yeah. Honestly.
Yeah.
And they have their laugh down the ridiculousness.
Throwing back the head and everything.
Yep.
Yeah, I really hope that they can turn it around for this the final season. But then I heard speculation, or I was watching Looper or something, where they're like, yeah, when they're gonna do 4, possibly 5 seasons. I'm like, hold on, they already said it was gonna be 4. This is gonna be the final season. Don't milk it just because it's still doing really well. Let it end and go out on a high note.
I don't think they will.
Yeah.
I think they only have the 4 and done and
move on to other things.
Yeah, they'll move on to other things.
Do you think they're already done filming the 4th one?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think they've even started.
Yeah.
My guess, they'll probably start this fall. Or
because they probably still
year.
have to negotiate contracts.
Yeah. That would be my guess.
They just have to get it ready by Christmas.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if your theory is correct, if they start your theory,
yeah,
somebody's theory,
my theory, yeah,
that would be Christmas. If they start filming late this year, early next year, it should be good to go by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm. That'd be great. I loved how they did it on the 4th of July. That was perfect.
The 4th of July wasn't even mentioned until the second to last episode, though. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah.
It was just summer, and then all of a sudden it's the 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Why doesn't the mayor mentions it to Hopper pretty early on, doesn't he?
He does?
Yeah, he says, so. What's coming up in a couple of days? Or he said, what's coming up in a couple of days, and Hopper goes, Independence Day.
Yeah.
But I think that was the only mention.
Mm-hmm.
If I remember correctly.
Now it's just what do we have to find to watch, guys? What's going to be our new...
Glass blowing.
Glass blowing!
Yeah!
Yeah.
I'm actually probably going to watch it today.
Yeah,
that blows.
Now that I have access to Netflix, thank you, Colton.
You're welcome.
I've just been a binging fool.
I feel we should ask everybody kind of what's the new thing that we should be binging. Throw it up on our Facebook page.
Or what are they binging right now?
Or what are they binging? Yeah.
Maybe it's something that we haven't discovered yet.
Some hidden gem that's out there.
Yeah. Like I was telling you guys, I finished up Arrow, I finished up The Flash, I finished up Legends of Tomorrow, all the episodes that I had missed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now I'm watching Planet Earth. That's really cool. Planet Earth is so cool.
I'm murdering it.
Cool series. Yeah.
Anyways.
They show baby animals getting eaten, by the way, in Planet Earth.
Yeah.
Baby animals. No, there was baby some sort of bird, like a goose or something.
They just got
and there's a bunch of them, and there's this little fox came over and freaking murdered most of the...
Yeah, okay, so even the Disney nature...
No, it's not murder. It's just nature. It's just nature.
But it's those Disney nature movies, they've always shied away, and kind of oh, hey, there was a couple lost in the night, or this happened. They don't actually show it.
No, not Planet Earth.
Yeah, they don't shy away from that.
No. There's a group of baby penguins that freeze to death and die.
Well, because they don't want to, you don't have to... You don't want to interact with them or intervene.
Yeah, you just
let nature run its course.
Yeah.
That's what documentaries are for.
Yep.
That's why you get in trouble with, during The Office, when you save Pam Beesly from getting attacked by some guy from the warehouse. You can't interact with the subjects.
It's true. That's true. That was an interesting callback there. All right, I think it's about enough of that. Thanks if you've stuck around. I don't know anybody that's going to be listen to the episode and then shut it off.
Yeah.
I don't want to listen to the rest of that.
Well, not worth my time.
It's if you've already listened to us for an hour, what's
Mm-hmm.
another 20 minutes or so?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Again, I don't know how to end these post-credit scenes.
We got to do it with a really a cliffhanger, like post credit scenes do.
Oh, that's true.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for more, and then end it.
Will we be back next week? Oh.
Tune in and find out.
All right.
All right. We'll see you later.